WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. We're live on Radio Row. It's all brought to you by our friends at Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute at Foundry Row in Owings Mills. And, of course, our friends at Royal Farms. I'm out of coffee. I got to come home, get some Kona Blend on Monday, as well as some of that tasty fried chicken. Jim Everett is joining us here, former Rams quarterback. You know, I had to do a little Google work, and I didn't go all the way back, but I was an Eagles season ticket holder in the late 80s when we lost our team, when the Colts went away right around the time you started playing, and you were a Ram, you came in. I remember a Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve as a season ticket holder, a playoff game, you came in. I think you beat the Eagles. Am I right in saying that?
You are right.
I'm pretty sure you won that game. I didn't Google it up. I don't want to hurt your feelings, get it the wrong way, but I remember I didn't want to say I saw you play. I saw you play. So I'm not, I know I look young and spry and all that, but boy, the last time the Rams were ready, this is an amazing story. The L.A. Rams, being a Baltimore guy, having lost the Colts, bring a team back, won a couple Super Bowls now. L.A. and your legacy as a player, you kind of went away for a quarter of a century. It's just an incredible story.
It is.
The way the league came back, right?
It is. I mean, it's not very often that all of a sudden, someone leaves for 21 years and then comes back home. It's really kind of amazing because, we were a Los Angeles Rams, and then, for example, for years I was the Rams' all-time leading passer. But that was the St. Louis Rams all-time leading passer. I'm like, hey, I haven't been to St. Louis.
Well, when I would go out there, I always thought it was the weirdest thing when, like, Jack Youngblood's name's on the wall out there and Slater. All these old Ram names, and I'm like, that reminded me as a Baltimore guy of Art Donovan and John Unitas on the side of the Hoosier Dome. Yeah. It doesn't make – but there is a part of this that's complete when I see you. Youngblood was here the other day, and the old Bettis. I mean, guys that played in that era and played in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, it's run full circle, and that's the thing about it. And the fact that the Rams came back in 2016 and now it's 2019 and we're already playing for a championship is unbelievable, or a Super Bowl. I mean, it's like McVay's really done a job from, the first year just having Fisher there, just trying to move in and mobile homes and
pissing off Eric Dickerson, all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, there was some turf wars going on out in Malibu.
But did you ever think it would come back in the way that it's – I mean, we all thought, well, they're going to get a team – they're going to get, and then there's 10 years, then there's 20, and they're saying, well, maybe London will get a team before LA will get a team. It's been a fascinating couple of years because I covered the owners' meetings. I was there, with Mark Davis and Spanos having his feelings hurt, all of it. But the fact that this team got good enough to get here this quickly, it's kind of a crazy little carpet ride for Kroenke. Because I know you've been by Inglewood. You know what's going on over there.
Oh, my, there's 300 acres of paradise coming in. I'm telling you, it's 60 acres of the stadium, but the other 240 is the whole, going to be NFL complex and the NFL experience. I mean, he really has a vision of the eighth wonder of the world, and there's not too many guys that can afford $4 billion self-funded stadium. I mean, he's really, really done a thing for Inglewood, a lot of employment, for the whole region, right there by the airport. Prime real estate. I mean, no one in their right mind could get this done. And if anyone from the Chargers could have got it done, they would have, but they didn't have the tools that Stan had.
Well, I mean, you're an asset man. I've done a little research on you. I mean, a lot of old football players go away. You go to Pepperdine. You're figuring the money out. I think a Purdue guy, you're eating those lousy XXX burgers out there in West Lafayette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you find paradise in California. Then the freaking team leaves, but you're still there. You're the smart guy, man. Look at you, $1 million, and you living out in Southern California. The team comes back. You get to come back and be a Rams quarterback. This is cool.
I know. It's very
But
cool.
you found the life out there after being a quarterback that was, aside from the Rome stuff, all the stuff that happened 25 years later, you've had a whole separate life after being in the league, right?
Absolutely. When I came back, I was down in New Orleans for a few years when they made the move to St. Louis, so I didn't have to go through all that, and we got to play those Ram teams at the time, which was kind of fun. But, yeah, and then after 97, you're right, I did go back and get my master's degree and had an asset management company for 15 years. So, yeah, I've had another chapter. But then to start this other chapter where the home team comes home is really kind of interesting. And
does it make
dynamic.
You feel a little more whole? Like I would say that in Baltimore for a Tom Matty or a Bruce Lair, guys that when football came back, it had a different bird on the helmet or whatever, but it sort of completed their alumni part where you're out in California, there's no team, the Lakers run the place when the Dodgers don't or whatever.
Yeah.
I would think this has been a fun little ride for you the last couple of years, especially with the success they're having right now.
It has. It's been tremendous because the NFL was void. I mean, you were at those owner meetings. How many times did Jacksonville Jaguars threaten to move out if they didn't get a new stadium or this?
Well, they're still going to wind up in London. We're all pretty sure of that, I think, right? But, hey, from my perspective, when you were a player and I'm going up to Philadelphia, not supporting the Eagles, but I was I was actually an Oiler fan, but I was a wayward fan. 93, 94, we lost expansion. We weren't going to have a team.
Right.
And everyone thought the Houston team was going to be the LA team. Remember Lee Steinberg was good. So this has been a long time coming, and I think for what the LA market's trying to do to be a flagship, and we were going to see combines out there, we're going to see drafts out there, we're going to see Super Bowls already slated out there. So the league is going to have gone in your lifetime from having this huge void to being like the place they're going to be shining all the light for the network, all of that. The league is going to move to L.A. the way the Playboy Mansion did 50 years ago, right?
I think that's the plan. I think they've always wanted to have some sort of West Coast influence, a little bit of the, the production with the Hollywood, the whole different deal. I know that's moving all out west. So, yeah, I think the NFL's moving with the times. And I think that, if it wasn't for Stan Kroenke, I don't think it gets done. Or even Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones helped talk everybody.
The franchise.
They're great. They were great for Georgia Frontiere. They were great for the Rams. They won a Super Bowl. You can't take anything of that away. I think if anybody, Kurt Warner's a little bit bent because I don't think he relates to the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, of course,
as he relates to the St.
Louis. Fair enough. I saw Isaac Bruce here. There were some guys that didn't play in L.A. that were a part of that.
Right.
Jim Everett here. He did play in L.A. for the Los Angeles Rams. He did win that playoff game, as I remember it, against the Eagles, going into the vet on the concrete there. Right?
Oh, dang, was that hard? You're right. But it was Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Eric Allen. They were stacked over there.
But you had a nice run, 89. You had one really magical year there, right?
We had a good year. We really had things that worked out well. I think you have that. You look around the NFL, you see teams that, for sudden to just take off. And
how the hell was that 30 years ago? Can you explain that to me?
And
now we're still here?
Yeah, we're getting old.
How was that 30 years ago?
I just thank God we still have memory of it. So.
I was just thinking, it's been 22 years since you last played in the NFL. Tom Brady was in college when you last played in the NFL. You played in the league over a decade. How amazing is this from your perspective that he's doing what he's doing at age 41?
He's still doing it.
No, hey, he didn't have the rules we had, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because they were one step between us and they were going to knock us out. They didn't knock us anywhere.
You were playing Buddy Ryan's team that day, as I remember. Nobody there would have done anything in the bottom of pile, right?
You just hope how many Advil you're going to take after that game. But I like the game. I like the evolution of the game. I like the protection of the receivers down the field that are defenseless. I like that. I think all those rules are good. I know there's some things that, hey, they've gone too far. They've done this, when they're slapping Tom Brady on the shoulder and they're calling
brushing the face mask.
Yeah, I know there's
touching the quarterback 15 yards.
But yeah, pull his flag. How about that?
Yeah.
So the game has changed. I like it. I like some of the strategy of the games. I like the execution. Tom Brady, you can't take anything away from that guy. He's been working day in, day out with a high standard for 17 years, and he still has a high bar. And I guarantee he's hard on himself, probably harder on himself than he is his teammates. And he's tough on his teammates.
I know you probably thought of yourselves first guy in, last guy out, quarterback, most responsibility even then. The job's changed so much, right? Like from what you did on a daily basis to what Tom Brady's eating avocado ice cream, the kind of trainers they have.
That's not real.
I'm pretty sure he does.
The kind of training they do, the kind of video, the sports science, all of that, the hyperbaric chair, all the things that are available that weren't available for you 30 years ago. Not to mention the fact that they can't hit you and take your head off, right?
And they all have a quarterback whisperer now.
They do.
That's true.
Who was your whisperer at Purdue?
I had a yeller. I didn't have a whisperer. Hey, go throw the ball against the wall, get your arm stronger.
But it's a different. It's really been drilled down in a scientific way now.
I think all sports have been broken down a lot more scientifically. And then, as far as you take the dots from the golfer's swinging,
sure,
you could see the swing and say, hey, your swing looks more like Mickey Mouse rather than, Jack Nicklaus or whatever.
You play golf?
A little bit.
It's that way.
But it's like, I think everything's broken down a little bit more technical. You look at the phones we walk around with,
sure,
high-powered computers. So why wouldn't the guys get more access to this? And they're taking advantage of it. And Tom Brady, I'm not eating any TB12 food, but maybe I ought to start.
You look pretty pliable to me. Jim Everett here, former Los Angeles Ram, doing some good work. Tell me what you're promoting other than just being a Rams quarterback.
I'm here with the NFL alumni.
Beautiful.
We're trying to take care of our own, and I'm trying to help promote. I'm at a brunch with Lawrence Taylor. He's not eating my lunch, but we're having brunch together. So and we're trying to promote, taking care of our own. I know we have another collective bargaining agreement coming up, and I just want to make sure that there's some guys that aren't ever left behind, that that these guys will soon retire, but this is a $1 billion sport, and let's take care of some of our guys who've been, in this league that's done so many good things for this.
Nice to have met you, man.
Nice to meet you, Nath.
Jim Everett joining us here, former Los Angeles Ram, doing his thing here on Radio Row as the Rams and the Patriots get ready for all things radio. Those are reading glasses, man. Oh, he's giving me a hard time.
These aren't even real.
No, they're reading glasses. Put those down. You're gonna go blind, Jim. You're gonna go blind. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports. They're very real.